Narcissistic grandiosity always threw me for a loop. I always thought it was somebody that had like prestige, power, money, and success. So their grandiosity and sense of entitlement was valid. My ex didn't have much to fuel his sense of entitlement, but this is how it showed up in our relationship. If you're new to my page, my name is Jackie and I'm giving real examples of emotional abuse so that you can spot them in your relationships. My ex believed he was above the law. He would drive with open beer bottles, not pay his court-ordered child support, and not file his taxes for 10 years. Apparently, he was exempt from all these wildly accepted social expectations. He had crazy double standards. He was allowed to invade my privacy, like go through my phone or my journals. But if I looked through some paperwork on his dresser to find a bill, I was blasted that it was none of my business. He would jump in his truck and leave the house for 20 minutes to an hour without telling me where he was going. But anytime I so much as picked up my purse, I was interrogated. He was allowed to call me a bitch in front of my daughter. But if I raised my voice in front of his kids because he was talking over me, I was told I was setting a bad example. And when my daughter was sent home due to a possible COVID contact, he forced her to stay in her room for 5 days so that he wouldn't have to isolate too. But when he was sent home with a possible COVID contact, he had free reign of the house and got mad when I wanted to go to my mom's while he isolated. His needs were more important than anybody else in the house. We all know how men are when they're sick, right? When he was sick, he wanted me to sit in that sickness with him, even if that meant I could catch whatever he had. He wanted me to cuddle with him on the couch, he wanted me to sleep in the same bed, and he wanted me to have sex with him. Some days, he even tried to guilt me into staying home from work with him. And when I would express that I can't do those things, I can't afford to get sick, to miss work, to neglect the household chores, he would tell me that I didn't love him. His grandiosity showed up in racist and misogynistic comments. He was a private contractor, so he would joke about the couple he worked for that day, or the owner of the gas station, or someone on TV that wasn't Caucasian. He would feign ignorance when it came to domestic chores or tell me which chores were women's work. And he would tell me it was my job to please him sexually, even if I wasn't in the mood. This is how grandiosity and a ridiculous sense of entitlement shows up in relationships with partners that provide the bare minimum. Someone who believes their wants and needs trump everybody else in the house. Someone who puts down others based on race, gender, sexual preference, financial status, family history, or physical appearance. And someone who thinks that the rules don't apply to them. Does this sound like anyone you know?